Now, many of you will know that the markets yesterday ended on a red. Most major stocks and indices finished the trading day on a red, and this came after President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, imposed 25% of tariffs on cars that are not built in China. And this goes to everyone now. You will know that this whole agenda, it started as, or this tariff situation, it started targeting China. It was mainly for China, but right now it appears that everyone is going to be included, and countries are not happy about this, which is what led the stocks to fall down quite sharply. S&P 500 finished down 1%. GM finished down, I think, over 3%. Tesla finished down almost 6%. Our very own Nio finished down 3.8%, which this is not good. One thing that you must know about tariffs is that, yes, tariffs might be a solution, but only in the short term, because what always happens is that with time, those products or those companies that are building cars in the United States of America, like Tesla, they are going to see quite huge demand of their cars. And we all know that when there is a product and there is demand for that product and the supply is limited, then the prices starts going up, which that, my friends, this is one of the reasons why tariffs cannot work for the long term, because the same prices that those cars outside of China are now going to be sold in the United States of America with this new 20% tariff, which, by the way, it's starting on the 2nd of April. They are going to compete or find themselves competing again in the US market, because Tesla prices would have went up, or the local producers' prices, because of demand, their prices of their cars would have went up, which is something that shows you, or that can tell us or shows us, that tariffs only work for a short term, not for the long term. For the long term, there need to be another strategy. But yes, in the short term, these can win. I mean, Nio has been one of the companies that has been talking about tariffs not being the solution, being unfair. Because in China is one of the countries where, honestly, it's quite fair, because they are not imposing some huge, ridiculous tariffs onto those cars that are being imported from other countries to China. I mean, if you look at your Mercedes, BMW, yes, they have got factories in China where they are producing some of their cars, but some of the cars they are importing them. And I can tell you now, China is not imposing the 20 to 38% that obviously Europe is currently imposing onto Chinese EV makers that are not produced in Europe, which this just talks. It's not good, man. It shows that these tariffs, in as much as, yes, these guys are trying to protect their local producers or local companies, but I believe that they need to also think about the replications that might happen if these other countries retaliate. Because right now in the US, Canada has already started talking about the retaliating based on this. We have read other news of China and also India starting to think about putting some measures against the United States of America after this 25% tariff increase. And this also won't be good for the United States of America, because if other countries fight back and also impose the same tariffs onto Tesla car selling in Canada and all that, it will reduce the amount of cars that Tesla generates outside of the US, right? It can do that, which is something that is not good. I mean, Canada already is saying that they've cut some rebates onto Tesla as a response to this 25% tariff increase by the United States of America, which already this shows you that, of course, countries will retaliate, and when they retaliate, it will also have an impact into the United States, which is something that, of course, it's not good, right? I mean, this whole situation makes the global economy to not be stable, because this tariff, of course, fights countries imposing tariffs on each other. It all leads to, obviously, inflation. It will spike inflation, because when the prices of products goes up, we all know that that is inflation right there, or it will trigger high inflation, and high inflation triggers interest rates, high interest rates, to try to curb the high inflation, which is something that we don't want to go back again to that. But anyways, let's wait, let's see how it unfolds. But this to Nio, it simply means that, of course, since Nio, I think they were looking at other alternatives to penetrate the European market, which one of the option which we discussed, which was an opinion, is that they could produce cars in UAE and then import them to the United States of America. I mean, in Abu Dhabi, the export tariff to the United States was around 2.5%, and if now there's this 25%, I suppose then it's back to square one, right? Right now, those countries that were having maybe minimum or minimal tariffs when they are exporting their products into, or their cars into the US, right now they are going to get 25% of tariff increase from the 2nd of April, which is something that is not good. So there need to be a reevaluation of strategies, because the United States of America, unless you are building your car in their country and not assembling, they are going to make sure that you don't make as much sales as possible, and this is because of the tariffs, or they will be able to do this because of the tariffs which they imposed, which is not good at all. Otherwise, with all of that, just thought I'd give you this quick update. Tell me what you think about this. Blue sky is coming, long term will win. Those that are persevering will most definitely be rewarded with time. Share price wise, I know Nio might not be doing the most, but we shall be rewarded with time, because this company, it is a company which, regardless of what might be happening, it is expected to do very well. And though in the short term it might be very difficult to penetrate the US market, the European market, due to tariffs, at the end of the day, in the near future, it's going to be easier for Nio to penetrate the US market, because, like I said, because the local products will be on demand, it will make prices go up, and when prices go up, they are going back to those prices that these car companies from outside America exporting into America will be selling on, which is something that cannot be a long-term solution. Otherwise, that's all from me. Just thought I'd give you this quick update. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I will see you on the next one, and God bless you all.